All right, then this morning we begin with the Punch newspaper. LASG inducts newly appointed principals, vice principals. The Lagos State government has inducted the newly appointed principals and vice principals in its post-primary teaching service. Speaking at the opening ceremony of a two-day induction and training workshop, the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo, in a statement issued on Wednesday, said the newly appointed school managers were resourceful individuals who had over the years contributed to educational development in the state. Fashola backs Sanwo-Olu on Okada Marwa ban. The Minister of Works and Housing and former Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babatunde Fashola SAN, has advised Lagos residents to support the state government's renewed enforcement of the restriction on motorcycles in some local government areas of the state. He noted that while the discomfort created by the enforcement could not be dismissed, the security implication of not enforcing the law was a major threat to peace. EFCC to probe $8 million intercepted by Customs. The Nigeria Customs Service said it will hand over the $8.06 million intercepted at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the suspects for investigation and prosecution. The Comptroller General of the NCS, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, said this in Abuja on Thursday when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Finance. Still from the Punch newspaper, Amotekun recruitment forms ready next week, says Akeredolu. The Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, has said the recruitment forms for the Operation Amotekun outfit will be ready next week. The governor, who spoke through his special advisor on security matter, Alhaji Jimo Dojumo, said the recruitment on the operation process had begun. He said, "Court, we are yet to issue out forms, and if there is any form that is out now in Ondo State, it is illegal. We have drafted the forms, but we have not issued them out." Suspended OAU tutor in our custody, police. Osun State Police Commissioner Johnson Kokumo said on Wednesday that the suspended tutor with the Center for Distant Learning of the Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife Moro campus was already in the custody of the command. Kokumo, who promised a diligent investigation into the matter, said the suspect was not a direct staff of OAU, adding that Omaito was a tutor at the Distant Learning Center of the university. EFCC arrests internet fraudsters, arraigns one in Delta. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested 7 suspected internet fraudsters in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, and Umuahia, the Abia State capital. The suspects were arrested in the early hours of Tuesday after surveillance on their hideout by EFCC personnel. EFCC disobeys court, refuses to release Adoke. Human rights activist Chief Mike Ozekome San has lamented the refusal of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to release his client, Mr. Bello Adoke, the immediate past Attorney General of the Federation. Ozekome, in a statement on Thursday, said it was unfortunate that about a week after Justice Idris Kutji of an FCT High Court granted Adoke bail, the FCC had refused to release him. NIS arrests 3 suspected fakers of Nigerian visas. The Nigeria Immigration Service on Thursday said 3 persons had been arrested for faking the newly introduced visa on arrival facility. The suspects, whose identities were not revealed, were arrested at an undisclosed airport with the forged visas. The VOA policy kicked off on January 1 following the announcement by the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, that Africans would also enjoy the facility with effect from January 2020. Still looking at the Punch newspaper, 74 parties lose registration set to battle INEC in court. The Independent National Electoral Commission on Thursday deregistered 74 political parties on the grounds that they failed to meet requirements for party registration. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who released names of the deregistered political parties at a press conference in Abuja, also said 18 parties made the list of registered parties in the country. Dismissed soldier, 5 others in police net for duping businessmen. A dismissed soldier, Lawal Abubakar, is among 6 persons currently in police net in Katsina for allegedly defrauding a businessman, Mark Udo, of 4.5 million naira. The 47-year-old, who resides in Dutima local government area of the state, said he was a sergeant before he was dismissed from the Nigerian army. VAT on calls, meet FIRS minister tells subscribers. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Pantami, has asked subscribers who have expressed concern over the additional charges on voice calls, SMS and data to direct their grievances to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Pantami, in a statement on Thursday, said his office had been swamped with complaints and inquiries concerning the new value-added tax charges on voice calls and text messages introduced by mobile network operators. From the Punch, we move on to the Nation newspaper. Fashola, how we foiled attempt to bomb Lagos. Minister for Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola has narrated how an attempt by terrorists to bomb Lagos State in 2013 was foiled. Fashola, who was governor of the state at the time, said the security intercepted 17 suitcases loaded with explosives which were smuggled in to wreak havoc. He spoke while delivering a lecture titled Insecurity, Taking Actions Against Organized Crime at the 4th Annual Public Lecture of the United Action for Change UAC in Lagos. Protest, Governor warned against breach of the peace. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma on Thursday warned against protests that could cause a breach of the peace. He said his administration would no longer tolerate such protests. There have been protests in Imo and other states by People's Democratic Party members since the Supreme Court sacked Emeka Ihedioha as governor. Nigeria must retain NYSC for national unity, says Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday reiterated the need to sustain the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) for enhancing national unity. The president spoke on Thursday while hosting some NYSC members led by the Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, at the scheme's Director General, Brigadier General Ibrahim Shehu. Buhari to attend AU Summit in Addis Ababa. President Muhammadu Buhari will leave Abuja for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia today to attend the 33rd Ordinary Session of Heads of State and Government of the African Union AU. A statement issued by his Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, President Buhari will be attending other events that will precede the AU meeting, themed Silencing the Guns, Creating Conducive Conditions for Africa's Development. So from the Nation, coronavirus. 1 million Red Cross volunteers on alert. Secretary General of Nigeria Red Cross, Mr. Abubakar Kende, has said the organization had placed an alert nearly 1 million of its volunteers across the country following the global outbreak of coronavirus. Kende, who addressed reporters on Thursday in Abuja, urged Nigerians to imbibe good hygiene and observe measures recommended by the Federal Ministry of Health. China wages people's war on coronavirus as death jumps to 563. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Thursday declared a people's war against the fast-spreading coronavirus, whose impact has been felt around the world, from slowing factory floors to quarantined cruise liners. The death toll in mainland China jumped by 73 to 563, with more than 28,000 infections also confirmed inside the world's second-largest economy. Virus kills Chinese whistleblower doctor. A Chinese doctor who tried to issue the first warnings about the deadly coronavirus outbreak has died of the infection. Chinese media said on Thursday Li Wenliang was working as an ophthalmologist at Wuhan Central Hospital when he sent out a warning to fellow medics on December 30. Police then visited him to tell him to stop as authorities tried to move the news under wraps. And from Nation, we'll move on to The Guardian. Border closure means failure of customs service, says NABG. Border closure against importation and smuggling of agro-allied products is an indication of absolute lack of confidence in the Nigerian Customs Service, stakeholders have said, commending the action as disincentive to smuggling and a boost to agricultural productivity in Nigeria. And stop associating hijab with insecurity, terrorism group warns. Muslim women under the aegis of coalition of Muslim organizations have emphasized that covering of heads with veils has nothing to do with terrorism, insecurity, and other criminal acts. Addressing thousands of women who converged at Freedom Park after the awareness work in Lagos, the director, Hijab Rights Advocacy Initiative Mutiat Orolu Balogun, decried continued discrimination and inhuman treatment of women and girls in hijab. And quickly we take this one from Echo News on the front page. Oshodi LGEA plans more classrooms for 21,953 pupils. Also have Shogla DPO denies raids on youth, and of course how we make fortunes from charcoal. And just take the one another one on page 3. After 453 days of blackout, Akinbaye residents clamor for transformer. And reads by February 3, 2020 marks 453 days since residents of Akinbaye community in Osolo have been in total blackout following the damage of the transformer that supplies electricity to the 100 Street CDA. The residents have cried out for the restoration of the transformer, lamenting the hardship they have been going through without light. All right, then, Echo newspaper, you could pick that up on at the newsstand. It covers Oshodi, Isolo, and Ejigbo. And for other papers, you could pick up a copy or simply go online to read more. Also, you could interact with us via our social media platforms, on Twitter at Lagos Traffic 961, on Instagram at Lagos Traffic, and on Facebook at Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You can also check out our website www.trafficradio961.ng, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Dele Agadumo.